Roger. It's the New York Mets versus the Atlanta Braves. The starting pitchers tonight. For the New York Mets, it'll be Jack Fisher, who has won 9 and lost 17. And for the Atlanta Braves, left-hander Denver LeMaster, who has won 9 games and lost 8. Well, here in Atlanta, Georgia, the umpires are just coming out now to the home plate area for the exchange of lineup cards. So to check out starting lineup, here's Ralph Steiner.
Okay, Lindsey Nelson, leading off for the Mets and playing left field, Cleon Jones. Batting second, playing shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Batting third at first base, Bob Johnson. Batting fourth and playing right field, Ron Swoboda. Batting fifth and playing third base, Ed Charles. Batting sixth, just joining the ball club, playing second base, Bob Heiss. Batting seventh and playing center field, Amos Otis. Batting eighth and catching, Jerry Grody. And the pitcher, Jack Fisher, batting ninth. Tommy Davis is not with the club. He was given permission to go out to Los Angeles for some business consultations, and he'll be back here with the Mets for their ball game tomorrow evening. For the Atlanta Braves, the leadoff batter will be the first baseman, Philippe Alou. Batting second and playing center field, Mac Jones. Batting third and playing right field, Hank Aaron. Batting fourth and catching, Joe Torre. Batting fifth, playing third base, Clete Boyer. Batting sixth and playing left field, Rico Cardi. Batting seventh and playing second base, Felix Mion. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Woody Woodward. And the pitcher, Denver LeMaster, batting in the ninth position. Now, riding out to left field on a motorcycle, Chief Nakahoma, going out to take his position in the teepee located in the home run area beyond the left field fence. And the Atlanta Braves taking the field. The umpires for the game tonight, Paul Pryor will be behind home plate. At first base, Bob Engel. At second base, Tom Gorman. And at third base, Frank Deserland. Now Denver LeMaster completing his warm-up pitches on the mound, and here for the play-by-play to take you along the way, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Cannon. Hello again, everybody. This is the first game of a 3-game series, and that's to be here tomorrow night and again on Thursday night. Friday is off, and then the Mets will be in Houston at the Astrodome on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon before coming back to Shea Stadium for Sandy Koufax night on Monday, September 18th, when the Brooklyn born Dodger left-hander will be honored, and the Dodgers will be in town for a 3-game series, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Then the Houston Astros come in for a weekend series that closes out the home schedule for the Mets. Right here, Cleon Jones steps in with a batting average of .242, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in. LeMaster's first pitch is in for a called strike. The umpire behind the plate is Paul Pryor. Bob Engel is at first base. Tom Gorman, the crew chief, is at second. And Frank Deserland is the umpire around at third. LeMaster now with the strike one delivery to Cleon Jones, and it's hit on the ground. A comebacker speared by LeMaster. He plays to first to Philippe Alou, and there's one man out. Cleon Jones smashing the ball on the ground right back to the box. That will bring up Bud Harrelson, the Mets shortstop, who's hitting .257. He has 1 homer and 27 runs batted in. Batting right, he's a switch hitter. On the coaching lines for the Mets, Yogi Berra at first and Salty Parker around at third. At third base now, Clete Boyer moves in on the edge of the grass. Left-hander LeMaster's pitch swung on and missed for a strike. Moving out on deck is Bob Johnson, who's playing first base again tonight. Denver LeMaster is 28 years of age, 6'1", 185-pounder from Oxnard, California. Last year he won 11 and lost 8. The pitch to Harrelson swung on and fouled off. 2-strike count. LeMaster's record against the Mets this year is 1 win and 1 loss. His lifetime record against the Mets is 8 wins and 3 losses. LeMaster takes the side from Joe Torre, and here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. LeMaster won 7-3 against the Mets' Jack LeMahieu on May 28th. He pitched 9 innings, went all the way, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and struck out 9 on that occasion. He lost to Ron Taylor 5-3 here on June 24th. Here's a pitch low for a ball. On occasion, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. He walked 7 and struck out 7. He also pitched 7 2/3 innings against the Mets on August 8th. He gave up 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, struck out 9, was not the pitcher of record. This is a 2-2 delivery. Low, and apparently hit him on top of the foot as he goes down to first base. So, Bud Harrelson is on at first, checking in with Coach Yogi Berra. And Bob Johnson is coming up now, the first baseman. He's hitting .343 for the season with 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. Mets picking up a base runner here in the top half of the first inning. The master takes the sign, checks the runner. Felipe Alou holds against him. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Torre throw to second to Millan, goes out into center field. Harrelson can't get up. Millan is on top of him. Now he gets up and goes to third. Mac Jones up with the ball, whips it in, but Harrelson arrives safely at third base. Stolen base and error on the throw is the official scorer's decision. Felix Millan, the second baseman, went over to take it. It was behind him on out into center field. He fell directly on top of Bud Harrelson, and Bud had quite a lot of trouble getting unscrambled before getting up to proceed on to third. That is stolen base number 12 for Bud Harrelson. And the count is strike one with a hit and run on. Bob Johnson took his cut and missed, and then Joe Torre's throw went wide. The Braves bring the infield in here in the first inning, and Denver Master works straight away. Here's a pitch in for a called strike. Baltimore Orioles are in Detroit tonight against the Tigers. It's Gene Broadbender 4-4 against Earl Wilson for the Tigers, who has won 20 games and lost 10. And Luis Aparicio has homered in the first with nobody on for Baltimore off Wilson. Here's a swing and a foul ball. Just dribbling about 3 feet up the third base line. Torre right on top of it, but it's out of play. We'll post you on scores of other games throughout the course of this one here tonight in Atlanta. No score here as yet with the Mets batting in the top half of the first inning. A runner at third and 1 man out. With Johnson at the plate, Ron Swoboda is on deck. Count has gone to 2 strikes against Johnson. Here's a swing and a ground ball to third, and Cleve Boyer comes home, and Harrelson is hung up. Torre running him back now, and now Cleve Boyer runs him back down the line. LeMaster's covering, and LeMaster goes back and makes the tag as Johnson goes to second base. So Harrelson managed to stay in the rundown long enough to allow Bob Johnson to go all the way to second. With the infield in, the ground ball was directly at third baseman Cleve Boyer, and Harrelson was off and running and was easily caught up.
In my first year in baseball, Lindsay, I played for a manager named Specs Portia. And that was his favorite play, with a man on third base and with the situation, no one out or 1 man out. He wanted you to come home every time, and if you couldn't make it, if the ball was handled perfectly as it was in this case, get in a rundown play and stay in it long enough so the runner could go down to second. He was hoping that there'd be a mistake in handling the rundown that would get you a run.
Well, Mets now have a runner at second with 2 men out, and Ron Swoboda is up, right-hand batter. The Masters pitch is swung on and hits deep to left. Mac Jones going back. It's a long way back there, and Jones is at the wall, and it's gone for a home run for Swoboda. To left center field, Ron Swoboda. It's a 2-run homer, his 12th of this season, and the Mets are out in front by a score of 2-0. Jones made his move back to the fence. There is a low wire fence here extending around the outer perimeter of the ballpark and then backed up by the stands, the wall in front of the stands. Coming up now is Ed Charles, a right-hand batter. The Mets 2 and the Braves nothing. Denver Masters pitch high and tight for a ball. They estimate the length of home runs here in Atlanta, and the message board says 394 feet for that one. Porter's last previous home run was on September 1st here as a pitch low at Chicago off Ferguson Jenkins. It is the first one that he's hit off Lemaster this year. He has hit several off left-handers, Billy McCool, Kurt Simmons, Woody Fryman, Mike McCormick. Here's a pitch to Charles. Swung on and hit in the air into right field, and Felix Leon, the second baseman, goes out and is called off by Hank Aaron, who makes the catch. So the side is retired with 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and nobody left. And the score at the end of a half inning is the Mets 2 and the Atlanta Braves coming to bat. In the bottom half of the first inning now, it's the Atlanta Braves coming up with Felipe Alou to lead off. Facing Jack Fisher, who has won 9 games and lost 17. Alou is hitting .277. He has 15 homers and 43 runs batted in. Jack Fisher last year for the Mets won 11 and lost 14. His last time record against the Braves is 4 wins and 11 losses. This year, no wins and 1 loss. He lost to Bud Jarvis 4-2 on June 25th. Fisher went 4 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. All of them earned, walked 3, struck out 2. His first pitch to the right-hand batter, Felipe Alou, is a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Jerry Grody is catching. Bob Johnson is first. Rookie Bob Heiss at second. Bud Harrelson at short. Ed Charles at third. Cleon Jones in left. Amos Otis in center. Ron Swoboda in right. Here is a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Waiting on deck is Mac Jones, the center fielder. On the coaching lines for the Braves, Bill Adair is at first base, and Bob Kennedy is the sign man around at third. Jack Fisher now with the pitch. Low and away for a ball. It's 1-2. The Mets are leading here by a score of 2-0 on a first inning 2-run homer by Ron Swoboda, his 12th of the year. Here is a 1-2 pitch. It's in there for a call, strike 3. Fisher went to the fastball, got it into the strike zone for his first strikeout. So Alou walks back to the dugout, and Mac Jones is coming up. Left-hand batting center fielder. Jones is hitting .258. He has 16 homers and 48 runs batted in. Pitch is low for a ball. Ron Reed is up and throwing in the bullpen now for the Atlanta Braves. Recently brought up. Here's a pitch low for a ball. This is the time of year when ball players are shuffled back and forth. Al Rennett did not make the trip with the Mets and will not be in uniform the remainder of this season. 2-0 pitch to Mac Jones, and it's swung on and missed. 2-1. The baseball news from New York is that the Yankees' Tom Tresh will not play the remainder of this year, undergoing an operation, knee surgery required for Tom Tresh. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and it's in for a call, strike 2. 2-2 now. Hank Aaron has moved up on deck. One man out, nobody on base. Here is a 2-2 delivery. Breaking pitch a little low, and the count runs out full at 3-2 now to Mac Jones. The Atlanta Braves have won 72 games and lost 71, a percentage of .503. They are 17.5 games back of the league-leading Cardinals. That pitch is high, and it's a walk issued to Mac Jones. So the Braves pick up their first base runner of the ball game, and it brings up Hank Aaron. Aaron, the right-hand batter, is hitting .312. He has 35 homers and 98 runs batted in. In the home run department in the National League, he trails Houston's Jim Wynn by 2. Wynn has 37. Hank Aaron is second with 35. Bob Johnson holds against the runner, Mac Jones. Here is a pitch in for a called strike. Mac Jones has excellent speed. York Mets have won 54 games and lost 89 this year for a percentage of 378. They trail the Houston Astros by 2.5 games. Here's a pitch that misses high. So it's 1-1 now to Hank Aaron. Fisher sets up. Jones takes his lead, and here's a curveball. Hit on the ground to third. Speared by Charles. Over to Heiss for one. The throw on to Johnson. Pulls him up the line. Off the fat part of his glove. It rolls away, and Aaron becomes a base runner. The relay by rookie Bob Heiss pulled Bob Johnson up the line. And the ball was off the fat end of his glove, and Hank Aaron becomes the base runner. So they're 2 out now. And Joe Torre is coming up. No error charged on the relay. Joe Torre is hitting .288 for the season. He has 20 homers and 64 runs batted in. The Mets lead by a score of 2-0 with the Braves batting in the bottom half of the first inning. Fisher now checks the runner. The pitch is low and away for a ball. Gloved by Grody. Hank Aaron leads the Braves in runs batted in with 98, and the second man on the club is Clete Boyer with 88. Pitch is inside for a ball. Joe Torre is third in RBIs with 64. Now Fisher checks the runner. Here's the pitch, low and away. So the count runs out 3-0 to Torre with Clete Boyer waiting on deck. In the first inning, Fisher has struck out 1 and walked 1. 3-0 delivery. Swung on and popped up foul, coming back toward the seat. And it's going to be in and out of play. Grody gave it a run back about halfway. Joe Torre was turned loose, and he took a cut at 3-0 and fouled it back. So the count now is 3-1. As Ralph kind of indicated, it's a comparatively cool evening here in Atlanta, Georgia. Very comfortable evening. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and pops up foul again, and again coming back into the seats and out of play. Hank Jones was off, or rather, Hank Aaron was off and running. He comes back to first now. And it'll be an automatic start for him this time. With 2 men out, the count has gone to 3-2 on Joe Torre. Rookie Bob Heiss is back 1 step on the rim of the outfield grass at second base against right-hand batter Joe Torre. Runner goes, and the pitch is inside. It's a walk issued to Torre. Second walk given up in the inning by Jack Fisher, and it brings up Clete Boyer. Boyer is hitting .253. He has 24 home runs and 88 runs batted in. A big year for Clete Boyer with the bat here in Atlanta. Having come on from the New York Yankees. The Braves are in 6th place in the National League standings. Fisher wheels, looks at second, does not throw, no one there. Mets lead 2-0. Braves have 2 men on. Fisher's pitch is high for a ball. Rico Carty is moved out on deck. Again, Jack Fisher sets up. And the pitch is low for a ball. He goes behind to Clete Boyer, 2-0. National League race at just about the same position they were at the same time last year. Played at just about the same pace. That early pace got last year's manager fired, Bobby Bregan. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and it's swung on it on the ground to third. Charles takes it, goes to the bag for the force, and the side is out. So, the Braves got no run, no hit, no Met errors, and 2 Braves left, and at the end of an inning, the score is Mets 2 and the Braves nothing. All right, Ralph Kiner, we're going now to the top half of the second inning, and it's going to be Bob Heiss coming up to lead off for the New York Mets. Young fella spent the year at Durham, North Carolina, and manager Clyde McCullough's Durham Bulls won the playoffs in the Carolina League, and so Bob Heiss reported here last night. In 115 games, he had a batting average this year of .298. He had 1 home run and 37 runs batted in, and he stole 12 bases. He is a right-hand batter, 20 years of age. Signed out of high school in 1965 when he finished. Here's Denver LeMaster's pitch. In there for a called strike. Heiss was signed by scout Roy Partee in California. He was with the Mets in spring training this year. Here's a swing and a chopper that's foul up the third baseline. Gloved by Cleve Boyer in foul territory. So Bob Heiss comes back. Young man is up there for his first time in the major leagues. He and Les Rohr, pitcher Les Rohr, reported from Durham. He's back in and waiting now as Denver LeMaster sets up to take the side from Joe Torre. It'll be a 2-strike delivery to Bob Heiss. Swung on and line foul between Coach Salty Parker and the bag at third. So the count holds at 2 strikes. Heiss spelled his name H-E-I-S-E. Waiting on deck is another of the rookies in the Met organization, Amos Otis. 2-strike delivery, goes high for a ball, and it's 1-2. The master taking just a moment before getting ready to work again. 1-2 pitch. Swung on it in the air to right field. Hank Aaron moves over and is underneath waiting and makes the catch. So Bob Heiss, in his first time up in the major leagues, just flied out to Hank Aaron in right field. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
The Mets are really playing a third game, Harry. Right, Bill? Here on WGY 10 on your dials connected.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Mets are leading the Braves by a score of 2-0, and Amos Otis is up now for the Mets in the top of the second. He's been up 4 times since coming up from Jacksonville so far without a hit. The pitch is low. He's a right-hand batter playing center field here tonight. Otis looks down to sign man Salty Parker at third. Now steps back into the batter's box. Pitch is low, 2-0. At Jacksonville this year, Otis hit .265. He had 3 homers and 39 runs batted in. He was drafted by the Mets from the Boston Red Sox organization. 2-0 pitch, in there for a call strike. He was taking his 2-1. First game of a twilight doubleheader in New York. Final score in 12 innings. The California Angels 2 and the New York Yankees 1. Jack Hamilton started for the California Angels, was relieved by Curt Simmons in the 11th, and Simmons gets the win. 2-1 pitch to Otis. Swung out and missed. It's 2-2. Well, Stottlemyre started for the Yankees. Steve Hamilton in the 9th. Dooley Womack in the 10th, and Womack gets the loss. The end of 4.5 innings. Cleveland 3, the Chicago White Sox nothing. Tom McDowell against Steve Jones. Howard relieving in the 3rd inning. Pitch is low, And at the end of 3.5 innings, the Kansas City A's nothing, the Boston Red Sox nothing. Catfish Hunter 11 and 14 against Jim Lonborg, who has won 19 and lost 7 this year for the Red Sox. The end of an inning, the Minnesota Twins won, Washington Senators nothing. Jim Merritt against Frank Bertana. Playing a ground ball to third, taken by Cleve Boyer, sidearms over to first in time. Amos Otis has grounded out. That'll bring up Jerry Grody. Grody is hitting .203 for the season with 4 homers and 20 runs batted in. The end of an inning, the Baltimore Orioles won, the Detroit Tigers nothing. Gene Bobender against Earl Wilson. Luis Aparicio homered in the first with nobody on, and just now, Dave Johnson has homered in the second with 1 man on to make it Baltimore 3, Detroit nothing. Pitch to Grody is low for a ball. In the National League, it's all-night action. The end of a half inning, Pittsburgh 1, Cincinnati coming to bat. Bob Thiel, 15 and 7 against Bob Lee, 2 and 3. The Phillies are at St. Louis against the league-leading Cardinals. The Cubs are at Houston against the Astros. This pitch is low, and the San Francisco Giants are in Los Angeles again tonight against the Dodgers. Right here at Atlanta Stadium, the Mets are leading the Atlanta Braves by a score of 2-0. The Mets are batting in the top half of the second inning with 2 men out and nobody on base. 2-0 delivery to Jerry Grody, swung on it on the ground, a comebacker. Taken by Denver Master, tossed easily over to Philippe Ballou, and the side is out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the second, the score is the Mets 2, the Braves nothing. We're going to the bottom half of the second inning, and Rico Carty will come up to face Jack Fisher. Rico Carty, the left fielder, is hitting .263, has 15 homers, and 62 runs batted in. Carty's in and waiting as Fisher takes the sign from Jerry Grody. Pitch is swung on, topped up the line towards third. Taken by Charles. He throws to first and in time. Bob Johnson handling the low throw over to first base. So there is 1 man out. Felix Millan, the second baseman, is coming up. Spells it Millan and pronounces it Millan. He's been up 62 times, had 12 hits, 1 triple, 3 runs batted in, hitting .195. He was here earlier in the year and then went to Richmond, where he played under Luman Harris. His pitch is in for a called strike. Luman Harris is here tonight at Atlanta Stadium after having been the manager of the winning team in the International League. Here is a pitch that's low and away for a ball. 1-1 the count. Woody Woodward is on deck, playing shortstop here tonight. Playing a foul ball off and out of play. 1-2. Swings the bat as he waits. 1-2 offering. Swung on and hit 1 hop to second. Taken by Heiss and played over to Bob Johnson in time. 2 away. There's a soft liner that came up to Heiss on 1 hop at second. And Woody Woodward to the batter. Hitting .232. 23 runs batted in. Fisher's pitch to the right-hand batter is in there for a called strike. The Mets lead here by a score of 2-0. Tomorrow night Pat Jarvis is scheduled to pitch for the Braves against the Mets' Tom Seaver. We'll be on the air at 8 p.m. again tomorrow night. Swinging a foul ball, back and out of play. 2 strike count to Woody Woodward with Denver LeMaster on deck. You recall that last year, Billy Hitchcock replaced Bobby Bregan as the manager of the Atlanta Braves, and during the late stages of the campaign had them playing great baseball. Here's a swing and a looper right into left field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Picked up out there by Cleon Jones and played back. It's the first hit for the Braves, a single left by Woody Woodward. And pitcher Denver LeMaster is coming up. LeMaster is hitting 113. He has 3 runs batted in. Right-hand batter. Bob Johnson comes over at first to hold against the base runner, Woody Woodward. Fisher sets up and deals, and it's high and tight. Master turning out of the batter's box to the inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Leadoff man Philippe Alou is out there on deck. A 1-0 pitch. Swung on and on the ground, foul back of third. So the count goes to 1-1. Defensively, the Mets are set up, playing Denver LeMaster to go to the opposite field. Way many pitchers are played, figuring that they won't be able to get around on the ball. Woodward leads. Fisher steps off the rubber. Now the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. It's 1-2. Jerry Gertie sends out the sign. Sidearm delivery, and it misses outside. So the count goes 2-2 now to Denver LeMaster. Pitch swung on and top back toward the mound. Taken by Fisher. He turns and plays it over to Johnson in time, and the side is out. No runs are hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 2 full innings, the score is the Mets 2 and the Braves nothing. Here at Atlanta Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, we're going to the top half of the 3rd inning, and coming in for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson, and hi, everyone. Jack Fisher will lead off for the Mets. Mets have 2 runs on 1 hit, a 2-run home run by Ron Swoboda. And the Atlanta Braves have no runs in 1 base hit. Jack Fisher batting for the first time has averaged compound of 7 hits and 67 times up with 3 runs batted in. Denver LeMaster, a left-hander, working for Atlanta. And the first pitch to Fisher. It's swung on, strike 1. Paul Fryer, the umpire behind home plate. At first base, Bob Engel. At second base, Tom Gorman. At third base, Frank Deserland. Next pitch back to the plate is low and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. After Jack Fisher, the leadoff batter Cleon Jones, and then Bud Harrelson. LeMaster at 1-1 and outside with a fastball. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Mets got their 2 runs in the first. Bud Harrelson was hit by a pitch ball. He stole second base and went to third when the throw went into center field, and error charged against Joe Torre. Next pitch back is hit out to shortstop. A 2-hopper for Woody Woodward. He comes up throwing and gets his man at first base for the first out. Harrelson was out on the rundown between third and home, but he was in the rundown long enough to allow Bob Johnson, who hit the ball down to third base, to get down to second, and then Bob scored ahead of the home run by Ron Swoboda. So the Mets lead 2-0 with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. And the batter coming up is Cleon Jones. Cleon grounded back to the mound his first time up. Average at 242 with 5 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Leon's had 94 base hits this year. And the first pitch is in the dirt. It's ball 1. Ball bouncing away, and Paul Pryor hustles off to the third base side to pick it up, put a new ball in play. Leon has had 9 two-base hits, 4 three-base hits, and 5 home runs this year. Extra base hit production has dropped off of last year. Since the All-Star game, Cleon has raised his average 42 points up to 242. He got off to a horrendous start after having a great spring. Now the 1-0 pitch, and the pitch is swung on. A fastball, foul tipped. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleon going for a fastball that was up above the letters. Outfield straight away. Wind is blowing in from center field, although it does not affect the play too much on the field because this is an enclosed circular stadium. Now a ground ball down to short again. This time Woodward has a little harder chance, but he makes the play over to first base for the out. 2 men away, and Bud Harrelson coming up. Say when you're on top, stay there with Rheingold. Mr. Beer, that extra dry beer that goes down so nice, it's so nice when it gets there. Make it Mr. Beer and make it Rheingold, and you make it big. Bud Harrelson hit by a pitch ball his first time up. He was hit on the foot. Batting .257 with 1 home run and 27 runs batted in. When Ron Swoboda hit his home run, he tied Eddie Kranepool for second place on the Mets in runs batted in with a total of 46 now. First pitch to Harrelson is fouled to the right side out of play. It's strike 1. Club leader Tommy Davis. Tommy with a total of 70 with 16 home runs, a 3.06 average. One strike pitch is looked at, and it's called strike 2. 0-2 with 2 men out in the top of the third. The Mets in front, 2-0. Denver Lemaster working for Atlanta. Takes the signs from Joe Torre. Now goes into the windup, and the pitch back is lined to center, a base hit. Harrelson goes down to first base and holds there as Mac Jones gets the ball back in. And the Mets have their second base hit in the ball game. Mets are leading 2 runs on 2 hits. The Atlanta Braves have no runs and 1 base hit. And with 2 men out here in the top of the third, the batter coming up is Bob Johnson. Bob 0 for 1 in this ball game is averaged at .341. He's playing first base. The last month or so, Bob Johnson has taken over at first base with a left-hand pitcher going. Now I'll throw to first base, and Harrelson back very easily. But with a stolen base his last time on base. So the Braves a little bit aware of him. Pitch to the plate to Johnson, hit hard by the third baseman down the left field line. Lee Boyer couldn't get it. Harrelson goes over to third base, no play there. The throw goes to second, and coming back to first after being stopped by the throw to second base is Bob Johnson. So the Mets have runners at first and third with 2 men out. And the batter coming up, Ron Swoboda, who put the Mets on the scoreboard with a 2-run home run his first time up. Ron's home run is 12th this year. He now has 46 runs batted in. He's batting at .279. Good play by the left fielder Rico Carty to cut that ball off. It was hit right down the line between the third baseman Cleve Boyer and the bag. Lee was unhappy with the fact he could not backhand the ball as it went on by. Now Lemaster with the first pitch to Ron Swoboda. Fastball inside. It turns him around. It's ball 1. Brush back pitch. Mets now with 3 base hits and 2 runs. The Atlanta Braves 1 base hit and no run. Pitch to Ron is a curveball breaking down too low, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Last year, Ron Swoboda had 50 runs batted in. This year now 46. He has picked up his big production in RBIs here in the last 2 months. Next pitch is high and away, a fastball missing. Now the count at 3 balls and no strikes, and that brings Joe Torre out to the mound. Joe walking the ball back to the mound. Joe Torre makes a lot of trips to the mound in the course of a ball game. Now Joe back to give out the signs. Runners at first and third. 2 men out, top of the third. Signs are out, the pitch is in, and the pitch is lined to right field, a base hit. Going over is Hank Aaron to come up with the ball. Scoring from third is Bud Harrelson. Going to third is Bob Johnson. The Mets lead by a score of 3-0 on Ron Swoboda's line drive base hit into right field. So Ron accounting for all the runs for the Mets. And that brings up the 5th batter in the batting order, Ed Charles, the third baseman. Flied out to right field his first time up. He's batting .245. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter, curveball breaking in, a called strike. Everything that Ron Swoboda has hit here in the last 2 months has looked like a line drive. He has hit the ball well. That ball a line shot into right field. 1 strike delivery, a slow curve that breaks in, called strike 2. He's now starting to throw in the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. The 2-strike delivery, a curveball breaking down too low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Denver LeMaster has not been able to really get on track this year. He got off to a good start and then hit a snag, and his record at 9-8. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. It is hit into shallow center field. Coming right to a halt now as the ball gets to him is Mac Jones. And he makes the catch and retires the side. But in the inning, the Mets score a run after 2 men were out. On 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men were left on. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Mets 3, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Going to the Atlanta half of the third, the Mets in front 3-0 on 3 runs driven in by Ron Swoboda, 2 on a home run, the other on a single. And Atlanta coming up from the first batter for Atlanta against Jack Fisher will be the leadoff batter, Philippe Alou. Philippe was called out on strikes his first time up. Jack got him with a fastball. And the first pitch this time is a fastball over the inside corner, strike 1. Alou batting .276 with 15 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Last year, Leaf had his best year in the major league. Batted .327 and was second to his brother, Matty Alou, in the batting race. He swings and fouls the next pitch back over the top of the screen, strike 2. The Baltimore Orioles scored 2 runs in the top of the second. They lead Detroit 3-0 after 1.5 innings. Washington scored 3 runs in the bottom of the second. They lead Minnesota 3-1 after 2. At the end of 5.5 innings, Cleveland 3, the White Sox nothing. And at the end of 3.5 innings, no score, Kansas City at Boston. So Boston, the only one of the big 4 in that American League pennant race, not behind. Next pitch is inside, it's ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now a sidearm curveball hit foul back of home plate. Jerry Grody will have a shot at it. He comes back and makes the play. So the Mets get their first out here in the bottom half of the third. They lead 3-0. And the batter coming up is Mac Jones, who walked his first time up. Mac is batting .258 with 16 home runs and 48 runs batted in. 48 RBIs, the number in his back. Jack Fisher pitching for the Mets. He has given up one base hit, a single by Woody Woodward in left field. First pitch to Jones is high and away, and it's ball one. Behind Mac Jones, the on-deck batter is Hank Aaron. Now a little check swing pop into center field. Going back is Bud Harrelson, also the second baseman, Bob Geis. And Heiss makes a catch back in shallow center field. Bob playing in his first Major League ball game. Now with 2 men out, the batter is Hank Aaron. One thing about Bob Heiss, he really looks like an athlete. He has good action. Hank Aaron, a fine athlete, stepping in. Hank into a fourth play his first time up. A good play in the ball by Ed Charles at third. And this time he hits a long drive. The left center field is going way back there. Back to take a look as Amos Otis is going, and it is gone. Hank Aaron with a drive to left center field. Number 36 for the year. He is one behind the league leader, Jim Wynn, who has 32 fourth play his first time up. A good play in the ball by Ed Charles at third. And this time he hits a long drive. The left center field is going way back there. Back to take a look as Amos Otis is going, and it is gone. Hank Aaron with a drive to left center field. Number 36 for the year. He is one behind the league leader, Jim Wynn, who has 37. And they estimate that home run at 388 feet. They have some sort of a computer here at this ballpark, and they throw up the numbers as though it is accurate. So it's now a 3-1 ball game. The Mets still lead, but 2 instead of 3. And the batter coming up is Joe Torre. Joe walked his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. Batting at 288. And the first pitch by Fisher is breezed through. It's strike 1. Taking the signs from Jerry Grody now into the windup and back again. And the next pitch is hit out to center field. Amos Otis charging in. He has plenty of time to get to it. He gets there and makes the catch and retires the side. No runs. Make it 1 run on 1 hit. The home run by Hank Aaron. No errors and no one left on base. And the score at the end of 3. The New York Mets 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. Okay, Lindsey Nelson, I'm right here. It's the top of the 4th. The Mets lead 3-1. Their first batter is Bob Heiss, batting for the second time in the major leagues. And he fouls the first pitch back at strike 1. In his first time up, Bob flied out to right field. So he's 0 for 1 in the major leagues. I'd like to remind you that Monday night, the Mets return home against the Dodgers at September the 18th. It'll be Sandy Koufax night. Sandy Koufax night on the 18th next Monday. Dodgers in for a 3-game series. 1 strike pitch is hit down to third. Backhanded by Clete Boyer. Good play. His throw to first base is in plenty of time. 1 away as we go in the top of the 4th inning. The batter now coming up behind Bob Heiss is Amos Otis. Incidentally, contributions may be addressed to Sandy Koufax night, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, for that night on the 18th. Amos Otis, the batter. Amos grounded out to third his first time up. Denver LeMaster pitching for Atlanta. Jack Fisher going for the Mets. The Mets lead 3-1. And the first pitch to Otis is hit to deep left field. High in the air, waiting there now is Rico Carty. And he one-hands the catch for the out. Rico Carty with that patented one-handed catch, no matter where the ball is. And while we wait for Jerry Grody to step in, we'll pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
Do you think the Mets can do it, Harry? Right, Bill. Here on WGY 10 on your dial in Schenectady, New York.
Ralph Kiner along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Atlanta, Georgia. And the first pitch to Jerry Grody is called the ball. Ball thrown back, gets away from LeMaster, and it's picked up by Woody Woodward to the shortstop. Mets are leading 3-1. They have 3 runs on 4 hits. The Atlanta Braves have 1 run on 2. 2 2 home runs in the ball game, one by Ron Swoboda. Ron driving in a man ahead with his home run. Now with 12 home runs. The other by Hank Aaron. And a high foul ball coming back out of play in the next delivery. In the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hank Aaron's home run is 36th. He is now 1 behind the league leader, Jim Wynn. I would imagine if you stood 2 fellows up in a whole row of, say, big-looking men, the last 2 you'd pick to be 1-2 in the National League in home runs would be Jim Wynn and Hank Aaron. Now a ball hit right back to the mound, and LeMaster has it on 1 hop. His throw to first base is in time for the out. So LeMaster picking up a 1-2-3 inning here in the 4th, and the score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Mets 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. First pitch as Jack Fisher starts off is called ball 1. And the next pitch to the plate is called ball 2. The batter is Clete Boyer. Clete grounded into a 4th play his first time up. He's had himself quite a year, batting at .252 with 24 home runs and 88 runs batted in. A foul tip on the next pitch. Check it, a swing, but he got the bat on the ball, and they count 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is hit foul down the right field side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I happened to run into him, Lindsay, as he was coming out to the box seat area where he stays just before he goes out of the field, and that was back into the stands, and they paint him up pretty fierce looking. Yeah, he's pretty fierce looking fella. Chief Nakahoma. Pitch back, a curveball swung on and missed. Clete Boyer fooled badly, and Jack Fisher picks up a strikeout. That's his 2nd in the ball game. He had struck out Felipe Alou as his first batter in this ball game. 1 away, and it brings up Rico Carty, who grounded down to 3rd in his first pitch, his first time up.
Wonder how Chief Nakahoma feels about his job security now that they've erected Big Victor, this mechanical Indian, on the other side of the park here.
Automation takes over again.
I suppose.
First pitch to Rico Carty, a fastball taken in. He was taking all the way. It's called a strike. One thing about him, he's certainly bigger.
He's bigger, although I haven't heard of too many Indians named Big Victor either.
Next pitch is called strike 2. Rico Carty taking again. Well, this Big Victor stands about 20 feet high in home run territory down the right field line. He has a great big hatchet in his right hand, and every time a home run goes, his eyes light up and the hatchet moves up and down. Little pop-up in the shallow center. Bud Harrelson going back to make the play for the out. Carty was fooled with a curveball and sort of just reached out and tapped it out towards center field, trying to foul it off and hit it out into fair territory. So the Mets get their 2nd out here in the 4th as they lead 3-1, and the batter now coming up. Second baseman, Phoenix Leon.
Come on, Ralph, that's a tomahawk. It's got to be a tomahawk.
Guess you're right. I'm not too familiar with Indians. First pitch to Leon is called ball 1. Looks like an axe to me.
Well, it does. As a matter of fact, it'd be hard to distinguish, wouldn't it?
Now a little line drive over the head of Bud Harrelson. Leon punches one into left center field. He goes down to first base with a base hit and holds there. As Leon Jones coming over from left field makes the play. So the Braves pick up their 3rd hit of the ball game. They are trailing by a score of 3-1, and the batter stepping up now. The shortstop, Woody Woodward, who had the first hit of the ball game for the Braves off Jack Fisher. That came back in the 2nd. Batting .234, right-hand batter. And the first pitch is swung on, strike 1. A throw to first base, but Leon back ahead of the try for the tag by Bob Johnson. Bob was in ahead of the bag and couldn't reach back to it. Always thought Indians had blue eyes, too, but that Indian's got red eyes.
He's got the reddest eyes I've ever seen.
Now throw over to first base, a lob throw by Jack Fisher. Leon back easily. Fisher to the plate, and the one-strike pitch is the curveball low and away. 1-1. They called the Boston Braves something else years ago. Oh, Bees, wasn't it? Boston Bees.
Boston Bees, yeah. They sure did.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Grounded out toward shortstop. Harrelson charges, comes up with the ball in his glove hand, transfers the ball to his throwing hand, throws the first base in time to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on, and the score at the end of 4, the New York Mets 3, the Atlanta Braves 1.
We're going now to the top half of the 5th inning, and it'll be Jack Fisher coming up to lead off for the Mets at Sox Park in Chicago. The White Sox have scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. So going to the 7th inning, it's Cleveland 3 and the White Sox 2. Sam McDowell for Cleveland, Culver in the 6th, Steve Jones for the White Sox, Bruce Howard in the 3rd, Wilbur Wood in the 6th, and Bob Locker now in the 7th inning. Going to the bottom of the 4th, Washington 3, the Minnesota Twins 1. Going to the 7th, the Boston Red Sox 1, Kansas City 0. Going to the bottom of the 4th, Baltimore 3 and Detroit 1. That's the way things are in the Torre American League race. Now Fisher's up, and Denville Masters pitches it on the ground to 3rd. Cleve Boyer up with it, plays it across to Philippe Lou, and Fisher's out 3rd to 1st. On the way, and now Cleon Jones, the Met leadoff man in the batting order, will be coming up. He's taking a little time to allow Fisher to get back to the dugout. Cleon's been up twice, grounded out both times. And waiting as Denville Master leans forward to take the sign into the windup. Here's the pitch, and it's low as Cleon bluffed his throw to bunt. It brought Cleve Boyer in on the edge of the grass at 3rd. The Mets are out front by a score of 3-1. The Mets have 3 runs on 4 hits. The Atlanta Braves have 1 run. They have 3 hits. 1-0 delivery. Swung on and popped up foul to the right side. Philippe Lou chases it way over near the dugout, and one hands the ball for the out. He was in the warning track just in front of the Braves dugout, and that's a long way from first base. There is a wide area back of 1st and 3rd to be covered on foul pop. But Lou got to it, and there are 2 men out now. Bud Harrelson's coming up. He was hit by a pitch ball, and was later caught in a rundown in the 1st inning, and he had a ground single at center and later scored in the 3rd inning. Batting right-handed tonight against the left-hander, Denver LeMaster. Swinging a drive into left field for a base hit. Rico Carty over up with it, plays it back. Harrelson turns and holds with his 2nd base hit of the ball game. That was a solid smash. A line drive into left field. So Harrelson is 2 for 2. Bob Johnson's coming up. He's 1 for 2 and has scored a run. Johnson's playing first base in place of Ed Kranepool, and he is batting 3rd in the batting order for the Mets. Pitch swung on and hit deep to left. It's way back there. Rico Carty moves over, and he's there to one-hand the ball for the out that retires the side. Well hit by Johnson. No runs are hit, no errors, 1 left. In the middle of the 5th, the score is the Mets 3 and the Braves 1. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, it's Denville Master peeling off the jacket and proceeding to the plate for the Atlanta Braves. He has been up 1 time and he grounded out pitcher to 1st, although he's a left-hand pitcher. He is a right-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher Jack Fisher, who's on the mound here tonight for the Mets. Pat Jarvis tomorrow night for Atlanta against the Mets' Tom Seaver, and then Thursday night, Bill Necro, the knuckleballer, going for Atlanta, and Danny Frisella for the New York Mets. Fisher's pitch, low and away for a ball. The 1-0 delivery. In there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Defensively, the Mets set up, playing Denville Master to go to the opposite field. As Fisher offers up 1-1, and it's swung on and missed. 1-2. The Mets lead in this game by a score of 3-1. These are the final three meetings of the year between the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. In the season series, the Mets have won 9 and the Atlanta Braves have won 6. Here is a pitch that's swung on and missed. Fisher gets his third strikeout. One away, and Philippe Alou is coming up. He's been called out on strikes and fouled out to the catcher so far. Of the 9 games played between these two teams in New York, the Mets won 7 and the Braves won 2. Of the 6 played previously here in Atlanta, the Mets won 2 and the Braves won 4. Sends a ground ball up the middle. Harrelson ranges wide to his left, scoops it up, plays on to Johnson in time. Harrelson was almost behind the bag at second when he scooped that one up. Got a lot of range over there, two-way. And Mac Jones is the batter. He's walked and popped out to second so far. Jones is a left-hand batter with good speed. Down in the mid bullpen, Nolan Ryan is exercising again. Here's a pitch in there for a call strike. He won't be coming into the ball game. He's just taking his nightly workout. Now the pitch moves him back inside. 1-1 to Mac Jones with Hank Aaron waiting on deck. Deals 1-1, and it's swung on and popped up foul back at third. It'll be a long run for Ed Charles. He's got a lot of room, and he gets there to make the catch. So the side is out. In order, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 5 full innings, the score is the Mets 3 and the Braves 1. We will. Through 5 innings of play, the New York Mets 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Atlanta Braves 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. We're going to the top half of the 6th inning, and Ron Swoboda is coming up. So far, he has accounted for all 3 of the Met runs. He had a 2-run homer, his 12th of the year in the first inning. He singled a right on a 3-0 pitch to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Swoboda steps up to the plate. He's been in all the way for the Mets. Came in with a record of 9 wins and 8 losses. There's some arm trouble this year. Starts him off with a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Ed Charles has moved up on deck. Charles batting number 5 in the Met batting order here tonight. Now the pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to left field. Rico Carty moves up a step or two. He's underneath and waiting, and one hands the ball as he does almost every fly ball he catches. One away, and Ed Charles is the batter. He has slid to right and slid to center. Not so very long ago, manager Billy Hitchcock of the Braves announced that he was making a switch in his outfield alignment, that he was moving Mac Jones over to left, was moving Hank Aaron into center and Rico Carty into right for the remainder of the season, but that lineup did not hold for very long. Here's a pitch swung on and missed. Aaron was not happy in center. He never has been, although he has played it on occasion. And again this year, he has been used on occasion, rare occasion, as an infielder. This is a strike one pitch to Ed Charles. It's low for a ball. 1-1. Delivery. Curveball. It goes high, and it's 2-1. Hank Aaron is from the area of Mobile, Alabama, where a number of outstanding Major League is of recent vintage. Came from Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs. Tommy Agee of the Chicago White Sox. Cleon Jones, and now Amos Otis of the New York Mets. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and top foul up the third baseline. Swinging roller, that's a foul ball. Retrieved by Clete Boyer. And the count 2-2 now to Ed Charles. Bob Heiss is waiting on deck. The Detroit Tigers scored a run in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Going to the fifth now. It is Baltimore 3 and the Detroit Tigers 2. And that red-hot American League race. Here's a 2-2 delivery. Swung on, and it's a comebacker to the mound. Steered by Lemaster, and he plays on over to first in time. 2 away. Ball took a high bounce, and Lemaster on the mound had to reach high to pull it down. Bob Heiss is coming up, the rookie second baseman of the Mets who arrived last night. Having been with Durham in the Carolina League playoffs. Bill Hepler was the pitcher at Durham who clinched the championship. Heiss flies to right and grounded out third to first so far tonight in his Major League debut. This pitch is high for a ball. Campaneris has homered in the 8th inning with nobody on for the Kansas City A's to put them in a 1-1 tie with the Boston Red Sox. Here's a swing and a fly ball down toward the right field corner. Aaron goes into the warning track and makes the catch. Rookie Bob Heiss with a long fly ball down to the warning track in the right field corner. Caught by Aaron. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. In the middle of the 6th, the score is the Mets 3 and the Braves 1. To lead off with the Braves. He had a home run in the third inning, his 36th of this year. He trails Jim Wynn of the Houston Astros by 1 in the National League Home Run Derby. Here's Fisher's pitch, swung on and missed. The end of the half inning, the California Angels nothing. The New York Yankees coming to bat right against Peterson. In 12 innings, the Angels won the first game 2-1. At the end of 7 innings of play, first game of the Tri-Nighters, Cleveland 3, Chicago White Sox 2. Culver against Locker, both in relief. Going to the 8th inning, Kansas City, or rather playing in the top half of the 8th inning, Kansas City 1 and Boston 1. Catfish Hunter against Jim Lonborg, who is after his 20th win of the year. Smith and Campaneris have had the homers. The pitch to Aaron, breaking ball, that's low, it's 1-1. In the bottom half of the 5th inning, Washington 3, the Minnesota Twins 1. And in the top of the 5th, Baltimore 3 and the Detroit Tigers 2. Sidearm delivery, swung on and missed. The count to Henry Aaron is 1-2. Fisher has struck out 3 and walked 2. Fisher is not exactly in alien territory. He attended the University of Georgia at nearby Athens, Georgia. Sidearm delivery, swung on, and it is golfed down the left field line. And it is a fair ball going up against the fence there, and Aaron's on his way to second with a stand-up double. He golfed that ball right down the line to pick up his 34th double of this year. So now Joe Torre comes up, tying run at the plate with nobody out here on the bottom half of the 6th inning. Kansas City A's are out in the top half of the 8th inning now with only the 1 run, the homer by Candy Campaneris. So it's the Red Sox 1, the Athletics 1, going to the bottom half of the 8th. Joe Torre has walked and flied to center so far. The Mets 3 and the Braves 1. Jack Fisher off the stretch with a pitch to the right-hand batter, and it's high for a ball. 1-0. Clete Boyer is waiting around on deck. Hank Aaron takes his lead at second base. Pitcher steps off, try to tighten him up a little bit. Second baseman Bob Heiss moves up a little. He was playing a deep second base. One step out on the outfield grass against Joe Torre, but from the dugout he was moved up a few steps to hold Aaron a little closer there at second base. Heiss makes a run at the bag. Now it retreats, and here's the pitch. Far out and missed. It's 1-1. Torre has a season's batting average of .287. He was the National League's All-Star catcher. Here's a pitch low. 2-1. Off the stretch. Pitches far out. He's to right and racing back in Svoboda toward the wall. And he one-hands the ball going away. Aaron tags at second now and moves to third. No relay as Heiss takes the ball and runs it back to the infield. Steve Boyer coming up. Ron Svoboda went back to fling his glove up over his head and make the catch. As he neared the low wire fence in right field. And Aaron holding at second tagged and moved on to third. So now with one away, Cleve Boyer's coming up. Hank Aaron, the runner at third base. Mets lead 3-1. Boyer has grounded into a forced play and struck out swinging so far. Mets leave the infield back with one man out and a runner at third. They have a 2-run lead. Here they're willing to give up the run for a put out. Pitcher works straight away. Swing and a miss. Cleve Boyer chased a high hard one. In Detroit, the Baltimore Orioles have scored a run in the top of the fifth. They're going to the bottom of the fifth. It is now Baltimore 4 and the Detroit Tigers 2. Right here, the Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 1. The Braves batting in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Pitcher takes a look at Aaron, leading down the line from third. The pitch far out, and here up the middle, and taken by Heiss behind the bag of second. He throws to first in time, but the run scores. That ball hit the mound and took a hop out there toward Heiss. He took it on one hop then and played on a run batted in to Cleve Boyer. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
The glorious Mets never looked better, Harry. Right field here on WGY 10 on your dial, Schenectady, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner in Atlanta, Georgia. Fisher's pitch to Rico Carty, high and tight for a ball. It is the Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2 in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Carty has grounded out and popped out so far. Steve Boyer credited with a run batted in on the infield out that allowed Hank Aaron to score from third base. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 1-1 to Carty. Felix Millan is on deck. Delivery, check swing, foul ball, off and out of play. So it is 1-2. The Cleveland Indians have scored another run in the top half of the eighth inning. So going to the bottom of the eighth, it is Cleveland 4 and the Chicago White Sox 2 in the first game of a twilight doubleheader. Two men out here, nobody on base. Starts to work on a 1-2 delivery. Sidearm curveball that is popped up into left center field. Harrelson goes out and calls and makes the catch. Bud Harrelson hauled it in as Cleon Jones was making a run at it. One run on one hit, no errors and none left. The end of 6 full innings. The score is, and that's 3 in the Braves 2. We go to the 7th inning here at Atlanta, Georgia. Good ball game. The Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2. In the 7th inning against Denny LeMaster, the Mets will have the bottom third of the order coming up. Center
Center fielder Amos Otis, catcher Jerry Grody, and pitcher Jack Fisher. Amos in tonight's game has grounded out to third and flied to left. He now has been up 6 times in the major leagues, still waiting for the thrill of his first major league base hit. Foul ball back into the screen, strike one. Amos, just 20 years old, from Mobile, Alabama. Signed by the Red Sox, played a year and a half in their organization, was drafted by the New York Mets, promoted to Jacksonville in the International League this year. And a changeup, a pop foul, back into the crowd, no play. Home attendance in Atlanta just about the same as last year. The Braves have drawn over 1,300,000. Blowing in from center field toward home plate, but we've had 2 home runs hit. It's low and outside as Otis looks it over. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery, and it's over at the knees. Strike 3 call. Denny LeMaster, that is his first strikeout of the game, and it brings up Jerry Grody. Jerry has batted twice, and both times grounded back to the pitcher. Jack Fisher coming out on deck. LeMaster out of his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. A fastball at the knees, strike 1. In the 6th inning at D.C. Stadium, Fred Valentine has homered off Jim Merritt. Gil Hodge, the Senators, now lead Minnesota 4-1 in the last of the 6th inning. Now a breaking ball bounced in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. So far this evening, it's rough going for all 4 contenders, the American League pennant race. They all 4 lose. In a sense, nobody loses. The 1-1 delivery, and Grody hammers the ball foul down the right field line, back up into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 4 contenders, 3 are trailing. The Red Sox are in a tie in their game with Kansas City. Pitch, foul ball hit back toward the press level. Down remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jerry Grody. Denny LeMaster with a lifetime record of 8-3 against the New York Mets, trying to win his 10th game of the year. He was sensational the first part of the year. On June 20th, he had won 7, lost only 1. He was named to the National League All-Star team. The second half of the year, he's had problems. Has lost 7 out of 9 decisions. He's now 9-8 on the year. The 1-2 pitch. Line into the air to center field. Mac Jones is waiting, and he makes the catch hardly without moving. 2 men down. That brings up Jack Fisher. Say, when you're making it big, grab onto a Rheingold Mr. Beer. So dry you can drink glass after glass and still have room for another. So make it Mr. Beer, make it Rheingold, and make it big. Jack Fisher is 0 for 2. Jack has bounced to short and bounced to third. New York 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Atlanta 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. On the outside corner, a call strike. It's been Fisher's chief tormentor. Henry has a homer and a double. Foul ball wafted back into the crowd. Denver LeMaster with a 2-strike count on Jack Fisher. afternoon, then return to New York and start their final week of the home season at Shea Stadium next Monday night against the Dodgers. That's the 18th of September, and it's Sandy Koufax night at Shea Stadium. Two-strike pitch. Ground ball hit down to third, taken by Poyer behind the bag. The long peg to Alou, and the Mets are out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. 7:30 stretch time for the Atlanta fans, and the score at the end of 6 1/2. The New York Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2. Last of the 7th inning in Atlanta, and the bottom third of the batting order will be coming up against Jack Fisher. Felix Millan, the second baseman, Woody Woodward, the shortstop, and Denny LeMaster, the pitcher. Billy Hitchcock starting to get a pitcher ready. If any wants to send up a pinch hitter. As Jack Fisher's pitch is in, strike one call. Right-hander Jay Ritchie is warming up in the Atlanta bullpen. Fisher's curve is a smack to short. Taken on a short hop by Harrelson. He caught it in the air. Beg your pardon. Thought for a minute as though Bud had trapped the ball. It was going to throw on to first, but he caught it clean. One away as Millan lines out to Bud Harrelson. The last of the 8th inning at Fenway Park, the Red Sox broke the tie by scoring 2 runs. And chasing catfish hunter Jim Nash came out in relief. Now they're going to the 9th inning, and the Red Sox lead the Kansas City A's 3-1. Now the pitch on the way. And it's under the knees, ball 1 to Woody Woodward. Boston is the only one of the 4 contenders at this moment leading in tonight's action. Red Sox starting the night 1 game behind Minnesota. And it's over at the knees for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Detroit 2 games out, and the White Sox 2.5 games out. The 1-1 delivery. Fastball of the knees, a real good pitch by Jack Fisher. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-hand batting Woody Woodward. Woody, tall and rangy, excellent fielder. He was a good hitter last year. His hitting has tailed off some this year. He's hitting at .233. Tonight he has 1 hit and 2 times up. Just off the outside corner, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisher missing with a hard slider. At the moment, Denny LeMaster is occupying the on-deck circle. Whether he gets the hit or not will probably have a great deal to do with what Woody Woodward does. Ground ball up. Past the pitcher, he may beat this one out. And he does, but infield's in. Fisher slowed the ball up with his glove so much that by the time the second baseman Bob Heiss could come in and get it, it was too late to throw out Woody Woodward. And so, as a result of the base hit, LeMaster is being called back. Tito Francona is coming out as the pinch hitter. Home runs and 23 runs batted, and it's been a pretty good year for Tito. And he wants the ball looked over by umpire Paul Pryor. Atlanta will have a new pitcher in the game. In the 8th inning, it'll be right-hander Jay Ritchie. Mets need 1 win of this 3-game series to nail down the season series. Lead 3-2. Ron Swoboda has driven in the 3 New York runs. Henry Aaron and Clete Boyer have driven in the 2 runs for Atlanta. The pitch to Francona is inside, ball 1. Grisenda and Ron Taylor warming up seriously in the Mets bullpen. And now Fisher steps off. Nolan Ryan took a long workout down in the bullpen under the observing eye of pitching coach Harvey Haddock. Francona swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike, and he gave that with a home run cut. Detroit, Mayo Smith Tigers got 2 runs in the last of the 5th inning, and the Tigers now have tied up the Orioles 4-4 at the end of 5. We'll have a complete rundown at the end of the inning. Off the outside corner, 2-1 on Tito Francona. Francona is batting for LeMaster. The on-deck batter, a good hitter, Philippe Alou. Woodward on first base with an infield hit. There goes the runner. A hit and run play and a foul pop-up. Ed Charles scooting over in plenty of time to make the catch. A lot of room in foul territory, more so I believe than any other major league ballpark. All that room in foul territory, Ralph, can really be a pitcher's best friend at times. It's not going to do any hitters any good because you lose a lot of outs when you can't get to those foul balls that find in the shorter ballparks. This room here must be 120 feet from third base to the dugout. You need to have the ball hogging ability of an outfielder when you play first and third because there's that much room between first base and the dugout and third base and the dugout. Now the pitch to Alou, a ground ball hit through the hole, a base hit to left field. Woodward around second will hold up there as Leon Jones plays the ball in. The ball was not hit hard by Philippe, but he found the exact right spot for it. Through the hole and into left field. So now Atlanta has the tying run on second, the leading run on first, 2 men down. The batter is the center fielder, Mac Jones, left-hand hitter with good size and power. He has reached on a walk, popped to second, and fouled out to third. Fisher and a jam checks the runner. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That's in the outfield or deep for Mac Jones and swung around toward right. Manager Wes Weston has moved his rookie second baseman, Bob Heiss, a step back into the outfield on the right side of the diamond. Bob Johnson deep behind the bag at first. He turns him away with a high inside pitch. The count is even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sometimes the Mets will put on the fresh back pickoff play, and it looked like they had it going that time. But Grody bluffed the throw to second base. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mac Jones. Here's the pitch on the way. And a curve is in the dirt. It's 2 balls and a strike. Mr. Henry Aaron is waiting on deck. Fisher certainly hoping at this moment he doesn't have to face him in this inning. Now the 2-1 pitch. And a slow grounder foul down toward the first base coach, Philadelphia. In the New York bullpen, left-hander Joe Grisenda and right-hander Ron Taylor continue to get ready. Slightly closed batting stance, well back from the plate. Now Fisher makes the 1-second stop. The 2-2 delivery, hit high in the air, a fly ball to right field. Ron Swoboda just jogging in, he's under it, makes the catch and the side is out. So Jack Fisher bails himself out of the jam. In the seventh inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. At the end of 7, the New York Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2. Jay Ritchie is in the game now to pitch for Atlanta, and his pitch to Cleon Jones is outside ball 1. Has 1-2 and lost 5. Tall, rangy right-hander, and his breaking ball has swung on and missed 1 ball and 1 strike. One of his 2 wins this year was an outstanding relief job here at Atlanta, turned in against the New York Mets, a game in which he retired 16 consecutive hitters. Leon 0 for 3 this evening. The 1-1 pitch, sinker, low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Denny LeMaster in 7 innings allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 1. And the fastball is over to Cleon. The Mets have seen a lot of Jay Ritchie this year. This is the 9th time he has relieved against the New York Mets. And against the Mets this year, Jay Ritchie has won 1 and lost 2. Got him from the Boston Red Sox. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ritchie fans Cleon Jones. Bud Harrelson has a perfect night at the plate. Bud reached on a walk in the first. Stole his 12th base of the year. He singled in the 3rd and he singled in the 5th inning. First 3 times up in the game, he was hitting right-handed against Denny LeMaster. Now Bud will be hitting left against Jay Ritchie. Harrelson hitting 260. Left fielder Rico Carty is not playing, but as close to the left field line as most of the other teams do. 1 ball and no strikes. Now he's getting a signal from the Atlanta dugout, and he moves over about another 10 yards closer to the line. Inside corner for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jay Ritchie with his sign from Joe Torre. Harrelson a swing and a miss on a big breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we have our first final score tonight involving the 4 contenders, the American League pennant race. The Red Sox getting 2 runs in the 8th inning to defeat Kansas City as Jim Lonborg won his 20th game. And a fly ball hit to right field by Bud Harrelson. Henry Aaron drifting back about. Jay Ritchie with his sign from Joe Torre. Harrelson a swing and a miss on a big breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we have our first final score tonight involving the 4 contenders, the American League pennant race. The Red Sox getting 2 runs in the 8th inning to defeat Kansas City as Jim Lonborg won his 20th game. And a fly ball hit to right field by Bud Harrelson. Henry Aaron drifting back about 3 steps, and he takes it for the out. 2 men away on the top of the 8th inning. It brings up Bob Johnson. Bob went all the way to second base in the opening inning, while Harrelson was in a rundown between 3rd and home, and then he came in on Swoboda's home run. Breaking ball at the knees, strike 1. He singled to right in the 3rd. He skied to left in the 5th inning. So Bob has 1 for 3. Off-speed pitch by Jay Ritchie is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of tall young pitchers working out in that Mets bullpen right now. Right-hander Al Smells and left-hander Les Rohr. Now the breaking ball is low, and the count is 3-1.
Les Rohr and Bob Heiss joined the club today. Al Smells joined at Shea Stadium last week. 3-1 delivery. Ground ball hit toward the hole. Moving over is Woody Woodward. His overhand throw is in time on the side of out. Let's go out in order, facing Jay Ritchie in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 7.5 innings, the New York Mets 3, the Atlanta Braves 2. Of the 8th inning, the New York Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2. For Jack Fisher, the moment of truth. The Braves have the heart of their batting order coming up. Henry Aaron, Joe Torre, and Clete Boyer. And that trio is enough to strike fear into the heart of any pitcher. Henry Aaron, the batting star of the game for Atlanta, homered his 36th of the year in the 3rd inning. And then he doubled with a shot down the left field line in the 6th inning and came in as Boyer grounded out. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. The Minnesota Twins got 2 runs in the 7th inning. Dave Baldwin has come on to relieve Frank Bertagna. It's now Washington 4 at the end of 6.5 innings. A line drive into right field, and Henry Aaron has his 3rd base hit of the game. The tying run is on. Henry Aaron now has a single, double, and home run, 3 hits and 4 times at bat. Detroit 4, Baltimore 4. They're in the last of the 6th inning at Detroit. So now the contenders are starting to pull them out. Boston pulled out a game, getting 2 in the last of the 8th inning, beating Kansas City 3-1. Lonborg won his 20th against only 7 losses. They're going to the 9th inning in that first game at Chicago. It's Cleveland 4, the White Sox 3. Right here, the batter is Joe Torre. The tying run is on first. Henry Aaron, nobody out. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Now the stretch by Fisher. And a throw to first, not in time. Let's have the infield looking for the chance at the double play. And a breaking ball low to Joe Torre. 1 ball and no strikes. Now Torre wants the ball looked over by Paul Pryor. Torre hitting .287 with 20 home runs and 64 runs batted in. Mets would love a shot at a double play here. Bob Heiss and Bud Harrelson, the double play combination, playing Torre to hit the ball toward the middle. Here's the pitch on the way. It's high, he lays off, 2 balls and no strikes. Tonight, Torre has reached on a walk, flied to center, and lined the ball deep to right field. Ron Swoboda making a superb one-handed grab near the fence. The outfield spread out straight away and deep. The 2-0 delivery is in for a strike. Henry Aaron bluffed as though he were going to be running. Then he held up at the count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Mets 3 and the Braves 2. Ron Taylor and Joe Grisenda staying ready in the bullpen. Fisher slows down the pace, weighing out each delivery. Now he steps off. In the last of the 6th inning, Al Kaline is in a 2-run homer. There goes Aaron. Here's the pick by Grote, the slide. Out of second. Tagging out Henry Aaron. On a close play at second, Aaron is out, trying to set himself up in scoring position. What a clutch play by Jerry Grote. Rookie second baseman Bob Heiss doing a good job to go in and take the throw The runner and the throw were arriving just about simultaneously. Now it's 3-1 on Joe Torre. 1 out and nobody on. Fisher out of his wind-up. The pitch. Ball 4. He walked him. Once again, the tying run is on. Al Kaline hit a 2-run homer in the last of the 6th inning at Detroit. And now Detroit has gone ahead of Baltimore 6-4 at the end of 6th inning. One time, Baltimore led 3-1 and 4-2, and now the Tigers lead 6-4. Washington 4, Minnesota 3. They're in the last of the 7th. The Red Sox game is over. They defeated Kansas City 3-1. Clete Boyer, the batter. Hits the curve, a high drive deep to left. It may go foul. It's a foul ball in the seats. They're now in the last of the 9th inning at Comiskey Park with Cleveland leading Chicago 4-3. Clete Boyer didn't miss by too much, putting Atlanta out in front. Best year ever for Clete Boyer. 24 home runs, 89 runs batted in. Sidearm pitch, it's in for a strike. He started to go and then he held up. And now Fisher has a 2-strike count on Clete Boyer. The left fielder, Rico Carty, waiting on deck. 1-1 delivery. Ground ball hit toward the hole, flashing over Harrelson to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Let's get the force play on Joe Torre. Now 2 outs and a runner at first. Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson were in the last of the 8th inning in Atlanta, Georgia. Good ball game. Mets 3 and the Braves 2. Clete Boyer on first base, 2 outs, and the dangerous Rico Carty is the hitter. Right-hand batter with good power. And a ground ball hit toward the middle, on through in the center field, a base hit. Boyer is on his way to third. And there'll be no play for him. Runners at first and third. Now the tying run is only 90 feet away at third base. And the second baseman, Felix Millan, is coming up to hit. Millan has 1 for 3. And the last time he was up, he hit a very hard line drive that Bud Harrelson caught. So 2 out of the 3 times up, he has stung it. Jerry Grody goes out for a meeting with Jack Fisher. The Braves have out-hit the Mets now 8-5. The Mets leading 3-2. Ron Swoboda, with a 2-run homer and a single, has driven all 3 of the Mets runs across the plate. Henry Aaron with a home run and a ground out by Clete Boyer, accounting for the 2 Atlanta runs. So here's a big moment. Runners at first and third. 2 men down. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch to me on a line drive in the left. Jones racing in. Makes the catch. The side is out. Oh, that looked like a base hit going off the bat, but Cleon got a good jump on it. Came right straight in, reached down, and caught the ball about knee-high. And the side is out of the last of the 8th inning. No runs, 2 hits. Clutch play by Jerry Grody, throwing out Henry Aaron, a mighty big help. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 8, the Mets 3 and the Braves 2. 9th inning here at Atlanta. Ron Swoboda, the batting star of the game for the New York Mets, leading off against relief pitcher Jay Ritchie. Ron hit a 2-run homer to distant left center in the opening inning, his 12th home run of the year. He looks it over and it's high, ball 1. In the 3rd inning, with LeMaster behind on the count 3-0, Ron got the green light from Wes Westrom and singled to right field, scoring Bud Harrelson with a 3rd New York run. Foul fouled back over the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ed Charles on deck, and then Bob Heiss. Ritchie, tall right-hander, deals a swing and a foul ball back into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. New York 3 runs, 5 hits and no errors. Atlanta 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Now the pitch on the way. Hit high in the air and deep to center field. Back goes Jones. In front of the fence, he makes the catch. Matt Jones back on the warning track, right in front of the fence. That was virtually the same avenue that Ron sent the home run. The home run traveling about 15 or 20 feet further. The first game is over at Comiskey Park, and the Indians have beaten the White Sox 4-3. Sam McDowell, the winning pitcher, and Steve Jones, the loser. Grounded is short, hit by Charles, charged by Woodward, thrown to first in time on a close play, 2 down. The White Sox started the evening 2.5 games out, and they've dropped the first game of a doubleheader tonight. White Sox are rapidly getting into a position where they're going to need about a 5 or a 6 game winning streak. 2 outs and nobody on. Now rookie second baseman Bob Heiss, and he has been a good-looking ball player in this game. He's making his major league debut here this evening. Breaking ball, low and away, it's ball 1. He's gone 0 for 3, but 2 of the 3 times up, he's hit the ball hard. Particularly his last time up in the 6th inning when Aaron had to go back on the warning track to take his fly ball to the opposite field. And a smack through the hole and into right field, a base hit. So Bob Heiss has his first major league hit. A single through the hole to right field. Well, Ralph, he's been up 4 times tonight. He's hit 1 ball on the left side of the diamond to third and 3 to right field.
He's looked very good, Bob, in his debut. For a new ball player, he certainly has held us cool, and he has done a fine job in the field. He has very good actions, as you pointed out, with his ability to move and also run.
Now Amos Otis looking for his first major league hit. Amos was bounced to third, flied to left, and called out on strikes. The single by Bob Heiss, the 6th hit in the game for New York. Had a curveball on the outside corner, strike 1. Top of the 9th inning. Alou holding against base runner Bob Heiss. Amos Otis bats right-handed. There goes Heiss, a swing and a miss. The peg by Torre, the headlong slide, he's out. Heiss is cut down by Joe Torre on the peg to Woody Woodward. And he made a big dive and a head-first slide trying to get in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 8.5 innings, the New York Mets 3 and the Atlanta Braves 2. Well, here we go. Bottom half of the 9th inning. The Mets trying to protect a 1-run lead. Jack Fisher trying to win his 10th game of the year. Woody Woodward, the shortstop, leads off against Jack Fisher. Mike Lum, who has just joined the Atlanta Braves, he played at Richmond in the International League this season, has come out on deck to bat for Jay Ritchie. Then at the top of the batting order is Philippe Alou. And a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. In a busy New York bullpen, left-hander Joe Griselda and right-hander Ron Taylor are staying ready. Now Fisher delivers a ground ball to shortstop. Bud Harrelson up with it. Makes his long take a good one. 1 down. Now Mike Lum will be coming on as the pinch hitter for Jay Ritchie. Mike was in spring training at West Palm Beach, Florida. Braves consider him a good prospect. He'll be hitting left-handed. Mike Lum, L-U-M. This will be his first time up. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a foul off the mask of umpire Paul Pryor. Mike Lum hit .253 with Richmond as they won the straightaway International League pennant this year. One out and nobody on. Here's the pitch on the way. Just missed the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. They're in the 8th inning in Washington, D.C. with the Senators leading Minnesota 4-3. Minnesota's at bat in the top of the 8th inning. And a swing and a miss. Ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Detroit coming from behind, and on a 2-run homer by Al Kaline in the 6th inning, the Tigers lead the Orioles 6-4, and that game now has gone to the top of the 8th inning. Boston, with 2 in the 8th inning, defeated Kansas City 3-1. Lonborg won his 20th. He went all the way. Cleveland beat the White Sox 4-3 in the first game of a doubleheader. Now it's high, and Lum lets it go, and the count is even 2-2. California beat the Yankees 2-1 in 12 innings in the opening game of a doubleheader at the stadium. Jack Hamilton pitching to the 11th. The Yankees lead the nightcap 2-0 at the end of 4 with Peterson on the mound. And a shot that is foul down the first base line. Mike Lum just missing an extra base hit. Louis hit that one hard. Lum is from Honolulu, Hawaii. 6-footer, weighs 180 pounds. The 2-2 delivery, and a curve is low, and now Fisher has a full count on Mike Lum. Lum attends Brigham Young University. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's a smack off the shin of Jack Fisher, a base hit. Ed Charles picks the ball up near third. Here comes Wes Westrum out of the dugout. A hard, low shot off the bat of Mike Lum. It struck Jack Fisher on the right leg just above the ankle. It jammed over towards third, and by the time Charles could pick it up, no chance whatsoever to get Lum. The tying run is on first base with 1 out. And now Westrum is on the mound talking with Jack Fisher. If he elects to make a pitching change, he has Joe Brazinda and Ron Taylor warming in the bullpen. Fisher bouncing around on that right leg to be sure that he's all right. And Westrum says, let me see you throw a couple of pitches to the plate. So Mike Lum has his first Major League base hit in his first appearance at bat in the Major Leagues. Now Westrum heads back toward the dugout, and Jack Fisher appears to be all right. Ninth hit of the game. They have the tying run on, and the batter is Philippe Alou. Philippe got a hit his last time up, 1 for 4. And Jack Fisher with a tough assignment. The infield looking for 2. The pitch, broken bat grounder, hit slowly, charging hard. Olsen, the peg, got in time. Al Fisher made a great pitch on Alou, only to have it backfire. He shattered the bat on Philippe Alou. And a slow ground ball hit towards shortstop. Hit much too slow for Alou to be thrown out. And so now, Mac Jones is stepping in with a tying run on second, the winning run on first. We're at the last of the 9th inning. And we're going to get a pitching change. Wes Westrum is on his way to the mound. Fisher got a horrible break on that. He probably made his best pitch of the ball game. He shattered the bat on Alou, only to have it backfire in the form of an infield hit. Now Wes will go with the percentages. He'll bring left-hander Joe Grisenda into the ballgame.
Right here, it's a 3-2 game. The Mets in front, but in the bottom half of the ninth with one man out, Atlanta with runners at first and second, and Mac Jones at the plate.
Okay, Ralph. Mike Lum is on second. Philippe Alou on first, one out. Joe Grisenda has taken over the pitching. Slender left-hander from Scranton, Pennsylvania, making his seventh appearance. Left-hand batter Mac Jones is up. And he held up on the swing in time, and the pitch broke low, 1 ball and no strike. In 6 previous relief appearances, Joe Grisenda in 11 innings has given up 2 earned runs. A tidy earned run average of 1.6. Now he checks the runners. Here's the pitch on the way. A strike on the outside corner, a curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Lum on second. Philippe Alou is on first. The Mets lead 3-2. Grisenda's 1-1 delivery is inside, brushing the hitter away from the plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Mac Jones. Henry Aaron, the on-deck batter. Mac Jones has 16 home runs and 48 runs batted in. Batting at .258. Grisenda's 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. He now is a pitch away from loading the bases for Henry Aaron. Grisenda with a very important pitch to make. He's into his stretch. And the 3-1 delivery. Ball 4. He walks it. Goes him up. Well, we got all kinds of trouble brewing now. And the Mets skipper, Wes Western, is coming out and calling for Ron Taylor. He brought Grisenda in to pitch to the left-hand hitter, but Joe walked him. Now it's up to Ron Taylor, and he comes in to face Aaron with the bases loaded. Henry Aaron already has 3 hits this game tonight. A home run in the third, his 36th of the year. A double in the 6th inning, and he later scored. And he singled to right field in the 8th inning. He tried to steal second, representing the tying run, and a great throw by Jerry Grody cut him down. So now Aaron comes up in this game of redeeming features with the bases loaded and 1 man away. And Mr. Henry Aaron, a lifetime 317 hitter, will be stepping in. Aaron has 99 runs batted in. He needs 1 more to reach the 100 mark for the 9th time in his career. Henry Aaron is sitting at .314, just 3 points under his lifetime batting average.
It's interesting to watch Hank Aaron out there. He doesn't even stand up at the area near home plate to watch Taylor warm up. He was off over talking to Joe Torre. He evidently thinks that he knows what the pitchers will be like. Most hitters like to get a good look at a pitcher when he warms up when he comes in a ball game.
The thing the Mets will be thinking about now, they'll be concentrating on a ground ball and a chance to get a double play and end it. The infield playing Aaron toward the middle at double play depth. The windup by Taylor. Here's the pitch. Foul back over the screen. It is strike 1. The bases loaded, 1 man away. Last in the 9th inning, New York 3, Atlanta 2. Mets desperately in need of a double play. Long outfield fly would tie it up. Now Grody signs for the next delivery. And Taylor winds. Here's the pitch. And a high fly hit deep to center. It's going to tie the ball game. Otis is under it waiting. And he makes the catch. Lum is coming down the line, and he will score to tie it up. Henry Aaron is 100th run batted in of the year. Henry has now driven in 2 of the 3 runs stepping in. Torre has walked twice, flied to center, and lined deep to right field. The 9th time in his career, Henry Aaron has reached the century marker more in runs batted in. Now the runners lead at first and second. The pitch by Ron Taylor, and a foul ball back up against the screen at strike one. That's scoring 2 runs in the first on the 12th homer of the year by Ron Swoboda. Had led every inch of the way until here in the last of the 9th inning. Alou leading off second. He's the winning run. Here's the pitch on the way. And a ground ball hit hard. A base hit to left field. Alou is around third, hitting in. And the ball game is over, and the Braves win it. So the Atlanta Braves pull it out in the last of the 9th inning by scoring twice. Henry Aaron tying it up, and Joe Torre breaking it up. In the 9th inning, 2 runs. There were 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left off. Final score, the Atlanta Braves 4 and the New York Mets 3. And for the recap, here's Ralph.
Well, the New York Mets used the long ball to get out in front in the first inning when they scored 2 runs on Ron Swoboda's home run over the center field wall for Ron's 12th home run of the year. The Mets then had a 3-0 lead when they scored a run in the third, but Ron Swoboda hit a 3-0 pitch in the right field to drive in Bud Harrelson, who was on at third base. That put it at 3-0, but Atlanta got on the scoreboard when Hank Aaron came up and hit a home run over the left field fence. And for Hank Aaron, his 36th home run of the year, and he is now 1 behind league leader Jim Wynn. With the score at 3-1, the Atlanta Braves scored a run in the 6th inning on a double by Hank Aaron. He was driven in by the third baseman Clete Boyer when he grounded out to second base. That put the game within reach of the Atlanta Braves, and in the 9th inning, with the Mets defending with a 1-run lead, Atlanta came up, and the first man up was Woody Woodward. He grounded out to shortstop, and that brought up pinch hitter Mike Lum. And Mike, on a 3-2 pitch, hit a line drive right back through the middle and hit Jack Fisher on the leg and bounced over towards third base. He beat out the play to get on base as a tying run. Well, Lou was now the next batter, and on the very first pitch, Jack Fisher made a good pitch to him, jammed him with a fastball. The bat was shattered, but the ball was hit slowly by Jack Fisher, and Bud Harrelson had no chance to make a play either at second base or first, and that put the go-ahead run on at first base and the tying run at second. That was all for Jack Fisher, and Joe Grzelcyk was brought into the ball game, and on 4 pitches he walked Mac Jones to load up the bases, and that brought up Hank Aaron, who hit a sacrifice fly to center field to tie up the game. The run batted in by Hank was his 100th this year, and that brought up Joe Torre, who singled to left field to score the winning run. So the Atlanta Braves, on a run rally of 2 runs in the 9th inning, defeated the Mets by a score of 4-3. The winning pitcher in the ball game in relief was Jay Ritchie. His record now 3-5. The losing pitcher was Jack Fisher. Jack's record now 9-18 for the year. Jack worked 8 1/3 innings, gave up the total runs in the ball game 4, allowed a total of 10 base hits while striking out 2 and walking 3.